Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Supreme FAF. In today's episode, we're gonna have quite a special replay for you, played on the map Plateau of Arrakis. And holy hell, somebody please tell me that the name scheme of these last two maps is basically some kind of nod to the Dune series by Frank Herbert, because otherwise why would you call all these maps Plateau or Dunes of Arrakis? Okay, but never mind, we are digressing, so anyway. The map is Plateau of Arrakis, 10 by 10. Quite a nice map with a few civilian buildings, quite some reclaim on the map, and other stuff to actually go and fight for. But the players, there are 6 of them per team, meaning that we're gonna see quite a big team fights. After all, the more players, the merrier it is, right? That's why we play team games instead of playing ladder, so we can actually have some fun with our friends. So, as we can see on the right side, the average is actually quite high. The average rating for the bottom team is actually 1600, while the top team is actually averaging around just a little bit below 1580, so quite balanced teams. As we can see, the game quality is on 93%, so a really good balanced game. But who are the players that we have? So let's start with the top team. In the right corner, on the east flank, we have Mr. One Punch Man in electric yellow, playing Cybran. Right behind him on the air slot, I think, is Mr. Janus Prime, also playing Cybran, but this time in a color that actually resembles a mashed avocado. So we're gonna call this color avocado from now on. Then, the other one in steel grey is Miss Lazy Avena, or at least I think it's Miss, because it looks like Avena is a girlish name, but I don't judge you, okay, so let's go to the other guy. Up next is Mr. Mochnatka, playing UEF in dark grey color. Then, on the west flank, we're gonna have Mr. Zasport, playing UEF in grassy green or maybe even lime, which looks actually kind of nice. And then last but not least, Arso, playing UEF, Mr. LCR in dark red, already expanding with his ACU towards the bottom part of the map. And his enemies are gonna be Mr. Ize, playing beautiful Cybran in a violet color. Up next, his teammate in regal blue is gonna be Mr. Gortaur. Then, on the air slot, we have Mr. Ladroczek, playing UEF in cyan. Then, when we go and look who's gonna play the middle position for the south team, it's gonna be no one other but Mr. Clinch, playing beautiful Cybran in pure white. And now, for the last two players for the south team, it's gonna be Mr. Motulai, playing Aeon in a beautiful lavender violet. And last but not least, the highest rated player of all in this game, Mr. Luker, playing UEF in beautiful royal blue, the standard color of UEF commanders. So, as we can see on the minimap, we already have quite a few players exchanging fire, and it doesn't look so good for the bottom team, as we can see that this little reclaim field, full of basically civilian units, buildings and other stuff, is gonna be contested by the top team, as we can actually see some kind of cheeky plays by Mr. One Punch Bench using the land factories to go and block the escape route for Mr. Motulai, and Mr. Luker already asking for the base to be given to him, as he actually thinks like Mr. Motulai is gonna go and die to Mr. Janus Prime and One Punch Man. But it seems like, who knows, maybe he will actually manage to go and run away, because Mr. One Punch Man is actually saying, nope, I'm gonna go the other way around, so you, Mr. Janus Prime, gonna have to go and deal with Mr. Motuline alone. And as such, it seems like Mr. Motuline might actually be capable of running away, and Luker is also saying a good move to run away at this point. I mean, in this direction, as we can see that the ACU belonging to Mr. Janus Prime is actually not capable of catching up with Mr. Motuline, even more so as the units are gonna go and make sure that his ACU will have to go and move back. Meanwhile, on the other flag, it's actually kind of resident sleeper, as we can see that Mr. Ise and LCR is just reclaiming the units and buildings belonging to civilians. And at the same time, there is a small run by Mantis on the left flank, so we can see that Mr. Ise is trying to go and put some pressure onto Mr. LCR, but LCR just seem to not care. The reclaim on the middle have been scooped up, as we can see, as both players from the both teams just said that nope, we're gonna go and fall back, we don't care about fighting over these two mexes here, so whatever, we don't care. We're just gonna go and focus on something else, as we can see that there is a fire exchange between a few T1 tanks belonging to Mr. Gotar and Mr. Zasport. Although I'm not sure if you actually wanna keep on fighting at this point of the game, because there's just not much to fight for, just a few teeny rocks and one max point, so nope. I would say it's not worth it, but right now we can see that LCR might be actually in quite a bad position, as there is more and more units coming in from Mr. Ise. And also, there is a cheeky T1 PD being built by Ise. Not sure why we would build it here, and I'm not sure if there is enough mass to actually go and invest this PD here. But who knows, maybe it's some big brain idea, although seeing that Mr. LCR actually have a single lobo shooting the PD, I don't think it's actually gonna go and pay off, as the PD actually goes up in flames just a few seconds after being finished. But hey, they tried. They actually went and tried. There is also a lot of T1 bombers coming out from Mr. One Punch Man. Oh, that's why, because there is a big run by coming out from Mr. Luker, as we can see that there is a bunch of MA-12 strikers sneaking by the positions belonging to Miss Lazy Avena. Not only they managed to go and kill off a few T1 maxes, they also managed to kill a lot of T1 units and even some build power on the way, so it's already quite a good run by, if you ask me. But it seems like this is it. The T1 bombers are here to support. Even the ACU is here, so the little T1 tanks will have to go and say goodbye to their life. We can also see that the bottom team is actually preparing to go and make a push with two ACUs, as Mr. Luker and Gortau are actually preparing gun upgrades, but worry not, because Mr. Ise is already in danger. But he had cold wits, and as such he's gonna move his T1 tanks to support his ACU, making sure that he can go and slowly walk away. He lost nearly half of the HP, but he's still alive. Also, someone is thinking about building a big wall. I mean, it might work out, it might not. There is a bunch of T1 bombers coming out to go and deal with T1 maxes belonging to Mr. Luker and Mr. Motulal. Although there is a single T1 RPD here, so they will have to actually try to skim around the edges of the range of this little guy. Or maybe not, you can just go and suicide your T1 bombers into a bunch of thistles. Because, yes, why not? Why not? Let's make it a spectacle, and there is nothing more spectacular as little air units falling down from the sky. A little fire exchange between Auroras and a few Mantises on the right flank. Although actually I'm quite disappointed seeing that... Okay, never mind. Mr. One Punch Man is actually bucketed, reclaiming the buildings. that Mr. Motulai just simply had to go and leave alone after losing so much HP at the very beginning of the game. T1 Meg's gonna fall down to Mantis and Sky Slammer, as the ACU belonging to One Punch Man is just sucking the juicy mass. And let's see what is gonna happen right now. We can see that Mr. Gortaur and Luker already have the gun upgrades done, but they are not going to push in because it seems like Mr. Zasport actually is using based Sparkies to go and produce some T2PDs to secure this little choke point here in the middle. But the left flank is still not secured, as we can see Mr. Easy actually making a small push with his ACU, gaining just a little bit of map control, getting rid of a single T1 Max. And is he gonna push in even harder or not? Because we can see that he have some Rhinos in the mix, and as such he have the advantage at the moment. And strangely enough, Mr. LCR is starting by producing Buskill instead of Triads, which might come and bite him in the ears. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Because it seems like Mr. Zasport is having his hand on the pulse, and as such he's gonna go and help out his poor lad in need on the left flank by moving a few units and making sure that Ize is actually aware of it, and as such he will have to go and fall back, otherwise he might actually die to a pincer move by the enemy team. Mr. LCR still exchanging fire with his ACU. Or maybe not, as both players are actually gonna go and fall back. Mr. Gortar gonna go up against Mr. Zasport, trying to go and finish a triad. But the gun ACU is gonna go and dish out the pain. The ACU belonging to Zasport is actually gonna go in the front of the triad, making sure that the gun ACU can no longer go and hit the T2PD, as we can see that Mr. Ise is actually gonna go and use the build power mantis to get a fast T2 suit upgrade, as he recognizes the fact that he will actually need some T2PD to secure the area, otherwise they may actually lose this little field reclaim. Moongoose coming in a little bit too close as they start taking fire from Auroras and Zuis, as Zuis actually go focus down the T2PD as it goes up in flames, as Mr. Zasport is actually gonna keep on falling back. But worry not, he have a few T2PDs in the background, so unfortunately the South team is incapable of pushing even more. They will have to go and concede this point, as they just do not have enough firepower to go and break through all these T2PDs and a few ACUs. We can also see that Mr. LCR actually managed to go and get a T2 gun upgrade on his ACU, and as such it might be that Ise will be forced to go. No, he won't force it. He won't stop the upgrade, he's just gonna walk it off, because there is just enough units behind his back to go and protect his ACU. And let's go and see what's happening on the other parts of the map. But it seems like the middle of the map is just as resident sleeper as it was, as Mr. Mohnatka is gonna go and build a big wall yet again to make sure that no alien immigrants are gonna go and come through the middle. As we can see, like Mr. Ise is going for the kill on the enemy ACU, although I don't think this is enough units to go and get rid of it, as the ACU falls down to 5k HP, but the units are also going and falling down one by one, as Overjudge actually manages to go and kill off 2 rhinos in one shot. The Triad under fire, but I'm afraid that it's not gonna be enough units to go and put a dent here, as we can see that some pillars from Mr. Zasport are gonna go and come and support the fire base belonging to Mr. LCR, and as such Mr. Ise will have to go and concede and bow out of this game. I mean, of this skirmish. He's still alive, so pardon me for that. Now, let us take a break and see what is actually happening on the right flank. It seems like there was some kind of small skirmishes in here, but not so much reclaim left, so I don't think there was any kind of a big fight happening. On this flank, while we weren't looking, we can see on minimap that there are actually ASF already up on the field, so let's see if we have more ASF. Mr. Ladder check with 4 ASF and a single scout going out to spot what is being built on the other side of the map. As interestingly enough, Mr. Janus Prime is actually opting to go for Strat Bomber out of the factory first, so there is no ASF on the field yet, but it seems like he decided to go and kill some T2 Mexes. We will see how will it go, because I mean there is still some skirmishes happening, as we can see T2 PDs exchanging fire between LCR and Mr. Isa. But the Strat Bomber is actually more interesting. Let's see what it can do. It's beelining for the Mexes. Yes, it's gonna go and kill off 2 T2 Mexes belonging to Mr. Luker. Quite a big loss, but honestly I think that killing of the T2 power would be better choice. Is it gonna drop a bomb? No, the bomb is not dropped, as we can see the Strat Bomber actually going for the T2 LAN HQ, managing to go and kill off the T2 Mex and also adjacent T2 Pigeon. Not the best Strat Bomber, even more so as Mr. Janus Prime is gonna go and lose his AS7 that he used to escort the Strat Bomber, so nope, not the best choice of units. But hey, you can't always make the best decisions, as we can see some Rhinos coming out from Mr. One Punch Man going up against Mundus and Parashield mix belonging to Mr. Luker, who is opting to go and move back with his units as he sees that there's a bunch of Mantis coming in. Also the ACU belonging to Mr. One Punch Man is coming to the front line equipped with a stellar gen and also a gun. A big T2 stage Cybern ACU. It won't get better than this in current balance. I mean, it's not the best ACU for front line at this stage of the game, but come on, you have to go and do with what you have. We can see the shots being fired as one Lobo and Fervor fall down, but Mungus actually decide to fall back. A good move by Mr. Luker, making sure that he doesn't lose units when he doesn't have to. Left flank is actually looking stabilized at the moment, as both teams are fine with this kind of split on this middle plateau. A T3 upgrade being made by Mr. Zaspot on his ACU. And let's see, anything interesting happening on the middle or not? Well, nothing happening on the middle. The middle part of the map is still as resident sleeper as it was. But Mr. Luker coming in with his ACU saying that no, this plateau belongs to my team, so please, go away you insects, go away insects. Yes, run away Mantis. Mundus opening fire on the enemy ACU, not gonna really deal much damage, but at least it will make sure that the enemy ACU will have to go and fall back a little bit and respect the units belonging to Mr. Luker. There's a small skirmish on the left flank, but it seems like it's not gonna amount to much. It was just a few T1 units being moved by Mr. Zasport. Stealth upgrade being produced on the ACU belonging to Isa. As we can see, that the left flank is also in a stalemate. So now that we have some time, let us go back and look at what is happening in the bases belonging to both teams. Who knows, maybe we can see some experimentals being rushed, some nukes, anything? Well, it doesn't seem so like it. We can see that the teammates on the bottom part of the map are just making sure they can get their economy up and running, going for the T3 Max upgrades. T3 Max, nothing great, nothing interesting to be seen there. TMD. Yes, no one doing anything cheeky. Although actually, look, there is some mercies in here. There are mercies coming to the east flank of the map, as it seems like Mr. Motulai had enough. He just had enough with the Cybern ACU running around here. unprotected from the air units, and as such the next time Mr. One Punch Man actually manages to go out of from his shield, he will get greeted by a few mercies that are lying in wait right here. Nice beautiful noses on these rockets, really. A T2RT being made on the middle. Like I said, it is quite a resident sleeper position. As we can see that Mr. Luker might actually have to go and forgo this little T2 mass extractor, which might fall under the artillery barrage. Also a few MMLs coming out from Mr. Mochnatka. We can see the flapjacks lobbing missiles in the background as the Baskills are trying to protect what's left from this little mechs. And there is not much happening. What can I say? We can just go and count the ASF belonging to both teams. As Mr. Janus Prime have 21 Cybran ASF compared to 20 ASF belonging to Mr. Laderocek. But when we actually look at the mass income, it is quite clear that Mr. Laderocek is ahead. And ahead by quite a big margin, because there is over 60 mass difference in the income. Which is not good when it comes to you being the air player, which is also the echo slot for most of the team game maps. So being so behind is actually really bad. Mongoose here gonna go and get rid of the annoying flapjacks so that they can stop lobbing the angry missiles at the T2 mexes belonging to Mr. Luker. Yep, they're dying, finally. All three of them dead, although this little Klinghammer is still doing its job, being an annoying piece of shit behind a hill. So I don't think that Mr. Luker is even capable of hitting it. And here comes the Rambo SACU from Mr. Zasport. Gonna go and reclaim the map control on the left part of the map, which was lost due to Ize and Mr. Gorto making a really good push in the early stages of the game. And there is the first experimental on the field. This time belonging to Mr. Clinch, the Monkey Lord. The little big insect is up and running, fully operational. And now, let's see if it's actually gonna be useful or not. Because there's a big T2 and T1 army coming in here, supported by a single Rambo SACU. Monkey Lord transferred to Mr. Ize, and we will see if he can actually make a good job of utilizing this little monster or not. I mean, he does have units to actually go and support it. We can see some Lashavok, the T2 flag, some Ilshavok, and even T3 Loyalist up on the field, so it's actually quite a big army. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough to go and break through this forward base. I mean, look, there is even one more SACU coming in to help reinforce the front line. So, 2 Rambo ACUs, bunch of triads, lots of T2 and T1 units here on the field. So I really am unsure if the single Monkey Lord is gonna be capable of breaking through. As we can slowly see it coming closer and closer, some flak fire happening. As we can see T3 gunships coming in to support the monkey push. We can see it already opening fire, triads focusing on the Loyalist. And now that the Loyalist is dead, all the units are gonna go and focus fire on the Monkey Lord, which is actually losing HP in quite a fast manner. We can see it already dropping to 35k HP, as everything on the field is trying to go and kill it. Half HP left. 20k, below 20k HP, as it seems like the Monkey Lord will be actually forced to go and fall back. There is just way too many units and T2PDs on the field. And as such, Mr. Isa is actually making a good choice to fall back, or maybe not. He's gonna go and move it to the front yet again, but it's not a good idea. Come on, mate. Move it back. You don't wanna lose it. You don't wanna lose it like that. I mean, you might kill a single SACU, but that's not enough to actually pay for it. Even more so, as we can go and see that the wreck is clearly way closer to the units belonging to Mr. Zasper, who can actually go and... Yep, he's gonna use the RAS SACU to go and scoop up the mess. There is second Monkey Lord coming in, so there is more insects on the way. Come on, what is this? Some horror movie with spiders and stuff? We can see the big fuck off laser saying no you to little T1 units belonging to Mr. Zasport. As Ize is pushing harder and harder, T2 triads opening fire. As Mankiller is actually starting to take some damage. Oh no. The Ravagers in here. Mr. LCR actually started making Ravagers, so the Mankiller will simply have to go and say, nope, I'm out of here. This is not gonna work out. And let's see what is the Mankiller on the middle doing. Nothing. It seems like it's just sightseeing, trying to go and see what's happening. But seeing that there is a big wall on the middle, he just said, nope, I'm not gonna go over it. Okay, there are some pings on the ACU belonging to Motulai, as it seems like the North team is actually gonna go and try to go for the kill with their own Monkey Lord. So many monkeys in here. What is this? Planet Apes or what? The laser is up and firing, trying to go and get rid of the Oblivion T2PD that was hiding behind the big UEF walls, which are quite chunky. The enemies pinging the ACU belonging to Motulai, as we can see that the Molecular is actually gonna go and try to get rid of the ACU. The laser goes wide as the ACU actually manages to go and hide behind the hill. And it seems like this is gonna be nothing more but a Mazonation, as the Molecular belonging to Mr. Clinch arrives just in time to say, no, you, my Molecular is just way better. As the air fight is happening up in the air, but we can see that Mr. Janus Prime took a really bad turn. Janus is coming in from Mr. Mochnatka, trying to go and snipe the AC belonging to Mr. Motulai, but it's not gonna happen because the air fight was just lost by Mr. Janus Prime, as Mr. Luker, I mean sorry, not Mr. Luker, but Mr. Laderocek is actually winning the air. Definitely. The air belongs to the South team after this little mishap. Oh boy. Oh, but look, there is a bunch of T3 artilleries, I think, trying to go and kill the ACU belonging to Mr. Moto. Yep. Here are the Demolishers trying to go and snipe the enemy ACU. We can see the shells flying in the air, and will they connect? Will they finish off the ACU? Nope, I don't think so. It still have 2.4k HP, so it's just... Actually, no, it's 14k HP. Oh. I mean, not K. It was at 1400 HP, not 14k. God damn it, Endrani. You're really bad at this, but we can see that Mr. Clinch actually donated the Mantkiller to Mr. Luker, so we can go and use it on this flank. We can see it pushing in. Parashield coming in to go and support the Mantkiller, so it won't take as much damage. A few Triads and Percivals are just not enough to go and kill off the Mankiller, as we can see that it's actually getting veterancy one by one. 3 vets on the Mankiller. 31k mass killed. Quite a beast, if you ask me. Titans coming in to support. Percival still trying to go and win this little fight, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Janus is coming with some napalm as there is no air support. Actually, no, wait, Mr. Motulai actually made some T3 gunships which are supporting the Mankilor from way back. Yes, the Mankilor is dealing immense damage, 46k mass killed. Holy hell, what a beast! But here comes the fat boy belonging to Mr. Mochnatka. We can see it already opening fire, trying to go and kill off the Percivals belonging to Mr. Luker, but the Percivals do not care. They're gonna go and keep on going deeper and deeper to the land belonging to the top team. As we can see, the T3 Max goes down up in flames. A wreck, a juicy wreck of 3k mass is only left in the wake of angry Percivals. Now, they're coming closer and closer. Ras upgrade done on the AC belonging to Mr. Luker, who said that nope, he's gonna go and fall back from the front lines, it's too dangerous. Yet again, one more T3 Max is down, as now Januses are finally coming in here to go and deal with the Percivals belonging to Mr. Luker. You can see the world burning in flames as Scourges and Januses say no. This is our land, so go and fuck off. Phew, actually this is quite taxing on me, but hey, let's keep the show going. A T3, experimental crabbot called Megalith is being produced by Mr. One Punch Man, who's actually putting all his mass into this little project because he's afraid of what's coming for him, as we can see that there is a big spider. And also, someone managed to go and finish making a Galactic Colossus on the way. There is Galactic Colossus, and I have no clue who and when finished it building this little guy. I mean, he's not really little, he's actually quite tall, but you know what I mean. As we can see that the firebase belonging to Mr. One Punch Man is simply not gonna be enough. The T1 PDs open fire, but the Colossus just shrugs it off. He says, no, it doesn't matter, I'm big chunky boy with a big laser on my forehead. And as such, I'm gonna make you feel pain, as Mankilor also joins the fray, as we can see that these guys are gonna keep on pushing in hard. But the crabbot is done, the big guns are firing away, as we have the first nuke of the game open fire. As it seems like it's, where is it? Actually, wait, there's Strat bombers coming in. Are they gonna go and kill off the AC or the nuke launcher? The nuke launcher, it seems, as they all connect. The nuke launcher goes up in flames together with the T3 Pigeon. Goodbye, sweet friend. But it seems like the enemy team still doesn't have the SMD up and ready, so it seems like a nuke is gonna go and connect. Goodbye, the base belonging to Mr. Luker and Mr. Motulai. Kaboom, baby. Kaboom. As you can see, everything disintegrates into matter, or maybe even a few atoms. Goodbye, sweet T3 Maxes, but when we look at the chat belonging to the South team, it seems like they have their own nuke. Who have it? Where? Oh, there it is. There is the nuke with a lot of build power on it. That's a lot of hives and T3 engineers, and here it goes. Then the nuke silo opens up and a nuke comes out of its jaws. It goes up higher and higher. And there it goes. It slowly flies all over the battlefield. We can see Crabbot. Way below it, Fatboy, T3 Max has some shields, and my GPU is barely working, as you can see from the frame rate. And it seems like it's going for the air factories. Actually, no. Oh my goodness! He actually thought that the nuke was going for his air factories, for the air, but no! It was going for the main base, and as such, the ASU belonging to Janus Prime goes up in flames, as you can see. Twin bolts of doom go up high in the sky. 2 thermonuclear explosions by Cybertech. A beautiful sight. But let's go and look what else is happening on the map. As we can see that there are actually a crab bot still alive and a monkey lord for Mr. One Punch Man, who managed to go and finish off the Galactic Colossus and other things belonging to the South team that were pushing in. They did a lot of damage, but unfortunately I'm not sure if it's enough damage to justify actually donating over 20k mass in Vrex. Now we can see that Mr. Clinch will have to move back with his Megalith, as Mr. Mochnatka have his Fat Boy in the middle of the map, making sure that nothing can come even close. And as such, the middle of the map is still a resident sleeper just as it was. Ugh. Such a long game and so much action actually happening during these 30 minutes. Some titans making a short work of T1 engineers that were trying to reclaim stuff, and we can see a nuke launcher opening fire yet again, but where is it going this time? This time it's actually gonna go for the base belonging to Miss Lazy Avena, which doesn't have the SMD ready yet, which is a shame. Which is a big shame. Let's hope there is SMD somewhere here on the front base or something. But it seems not, as we can see that the Falboy is actually running away. And wait. Where is the nuke? Where did the nuke go? Wait. Am I blind? Am I actually this blind? Actually, Lazy Avena just control case herself. But thankfully the game is on full share, so it's not gonna be a big loss to the top team. But what happened to the nuke? I mean, wait. Unfortunately, I'm not as fluent in Russian to actually go and read it here. So I won't really know what the hell just happened, because I'm quite sure that there was a nuke launched by Mr. Clinch. But I don't see SMD anywhere here on the way to the base belonging to Mr. Avena. Oh no! Here was SMD. Actually, it might have been loaded, so... Actually, this might be what have saved the base belonging to Lazy Avena as before, but hey, there is an action coming here on the west flank. As we can see, like, Mr. Isin is actually making quite a big push with 2 crab bots and 2 spider lords. I mean, spider bots, those are called monkey lords, not spider lords, but anyway, we can see that Mr. Zaspot is actually forced to go and move back, recognizing that he cannot deal with this big amount of units coming out from Mr. Izzet, because that is a lot of experimentals, actually supported by T3 shields belonging to Mr. Gortaur. As we can see all the shells flying, T3 Ravagers opening fire, everything trying to go and get rid of the crab bots. As the first one is gonna drop below 5k HP, and boom, there it goes. The first experimental unit is down, but there is 3 more to go. The Falboy is actually gonna keep on kiting back, as it seems like it's not really comfortable staying close to these big boys here. But we can see these experimental units are falling one by one, and bye-bye, this was nothing more but a Mazonation. There is still a few more Rambo SACUs belonging to Mr. Gortaur, but I don't think this is actually gonna be enough, as there is Scorchers and other air units ravaging and raining fire from the sky. And as such, Mr. Gortaur is actually making the good choice to go and fall back with his SACUs, as there is just no way that they're gonna be enough to go and break this big front base. Because let's be honest, this is quite a big and chunky fire base belonging to the top team. Yes, run, Alin Scam. You will fear the glory of the UEF. Run away, Alins. Run away. Phew, let's see what is happening here. We can see a monkey lord pushing in. On the other flank, we're actually trying to go intercept the Percivals coming out from Mr. Luker, which unfortunately I don't think are gonna do that much damage, as there is just way too many units and T2 PDs in here on the middle of the map. There's also a fat boy coming in to support the middle, and as such this is gonna be nothing more but a mass nation. The crab bot belonging to Mr. One Punch Man is actually still not doing that much here, just chilling there on the east flank and waiting for its HP to actually regen. One more crab bot coming out from Mr. Laderocek. Gonna make sure to keep the fat boy and other units, all belonging to Mr. Zasport and LCR, in the bay, so they won't be able to go and regain control of this middle plateau. Holy hell, let's see if someone is actually building T3 artillery or something, because we are 35 minutes into the game, and when we look at the mass income, it is actually quite... yikes. This is a lot of mass being pulled in here. 760 mass per tick for Mr. Laderocek. 300 for Gortaur, Luker at 340, 300 for Ise, and then finally 200 for Mr. Motulai. When it comes to the other team, Mr. Zaspor is pulling disease 2k mass. This must be reclaimed, but holy hell, this is a lot of mass. Let's look. Okay, this is... okay, his base is only producing 600 mass per second, so it's not as diseased as I thought. But when you look at the reclaim numbers, holy shit. Mochnatka at 300 income. Mr. LCR 220 and One Punch Man at measly 140. And what the hell are you building, mate? What the hell are you building? You're stalling so hard, like, yikes. And considering that there are a lot of Cyberpunk players in this game, there is a good notion from Mr. Gorta to actually start managing, building some teledev. Because a single teledev might actually be quite devastating if it were to TP somewhere in here and get rid of all these mass ups, all these T3 pigeons. It would be a really big blow to the bottom team. Although actually exactly the same goes for the top team. If the bottom team were to go and use the AC belonging to Ise as teleport suicide bomber, there are still places where he can go and deal a lot of damage, like TP somewhere here, get rid of this stuff here and TP back if possible. Or actually, okay, yeah, I was wondering if something interesting is being built, and we can see that Mr. Zasport is finally putting mass to some good use, as he just started a T3 artillery installation known as Duke. It might not be Mavor, but considering we are playing on 10 by 10, a T3 RT is gonna be just enough. A random SACU just went up in flames. Poor guy. It seems like he was pummeled to death by this single fat boy out there. Oh no, there is an air snap coming in, but Mr. Motula is actually managing to go and dodge half of the drops dropped by the ambassadors belonging to Mr. Mochnatken, and such his ace, who is just gonna go and walk off unscathed, losing only the shield. Nice micro, little guy. Nice micro, yep. Double shield. Good job. Oh, I can feel my throat actually being a little bit sore, but hey. We gotta keep the show going. Some fat boys still sitting on the front line, as it seems like both teams are finally recognizing that pushing in with units is nothing more but a mass donation, and this stage of the game, just look at it, we are 40 minutes in and the mass incomes for both teams are simply diseased. 2.7k for the bottom team and 1.5k for the top team. We can also see a big flying donut being produced by a Luker already up in the air, and we will see... Wait, I heard a monkey lord. Wait. Okay, it must have been nothing important, because I have heard a monkey lord shooting off its main laser, but I didn't see any kind of push, so I don't know, maybe some straight T1 units or something, but for now let's see where is the the char going. The big char. Let's see what it's gonna do. Wait, this is a lot of cursors out there for Mr. Zaspor. I'm not sure why is he making them. But they're trying to go and finish the T3 RT, as it seems like there's 2 players working on it. And as such, the Duke is gonna be finished in just a few seconds. And when I look at the bases belonging to the South team, it seems like they're actually mostly ready to go and fight with it, because we can see that there's a lot of shields in the base. And actually, it seems like there is only a single T3 RT for the top team when I look at it. Or am I wrong? Actually no, there is a second one nearly done in here, and yep, 2 RTs nearly done for the top team. And one is already firing, but the bottom team is actually... Yep, they just finished their own T3 RT, as we can see that Disruptor is actually gonna go and open fire on the enemy artillery base, as we can see that they're simply gonna keep on exchanging fire. Actually, wait, there is... I can see some Duke firing away from somewhere here, but there is an airfight happening, as we can see that Mr. Zaspor is actually gonna go and try to use his ASF to go and get rid of the Char experimental aircraft carrier. But it seems it's not gonna be enough, because one good turn from Mr. Laderojeks make a short sweep out of the units belonging to him, and as such the Char is gonna go unobstructed. Is he gonna snipe the AC, or is he actually gonna go for the big T3 RT? We can see its laser trying to go for the... Oh no, he actually controlled. Is it gonna be enough to go and get rid of it? No. It wasn't enough. The Duke is gonna just stay alive on half HP. It seems like the crash damage is just not gonna be enough. This is actually quite taxing, looking at everything that is happening, because we have T3 artists exchanging fire all over the place. We can see one arty firing from here, second artillery firing from these guys here. There are 2 artists belonging to the South team, and yet there is a big Rambo SACU push coming up from Mr. Gortar to the middle of the plateau. As we can see that the overcharged shots are being fired. The Sams are dying one by one, and the Farbo is actually gonna be forced to go and fall back, because the moment he gets in the range of this SACU, he's gonna go and say goodbye to his sweet life. Look at them go. Look at them go. The Rambo ACUs, the big chats. Motulai asking the good questions on the chat. Meanwhile, everyone else is occupied dealing with this big incursion into the enemy land. As we can see, lots of T1 bombers, even coursers, trying to go and get rid of the Rambo ACUs belonging to Mr. Gortar, which are wreaking havoc down here. Okay, T2 flag is up and ready to go. T3 Sam nearly done, as you can see that the SACU is actually gonna go and protect them from the air units, but I do not think that they're actually capable of defending themselves from the Fatboy, and the Manklord is actually coming closer and closer, as it seems like they will be forced to go and fall back. There's just way too many units in here. The sky is actually blobbed with the T1 bombers belonging to Mr. One Punch Man and Mr. Mochnatke, as the Manklord is actually getting in range. Overcharged fire, as you can see, Manklord is taking more and more damage. One more overcharge, another one, as Manklord is actually dropping to below half HP. And now it is him that have to go and run away. There is a Fatboy coming in to go and support the units. I mean, to support the SACUs belonging to Mr. Gortar, as Luker is also gonna go and make a swift push. There is a big crab bot in here. He's gonna go and kite back, as the Manklord is actually dead, as ACUs go and make a short work with overcharge. The Fatboy is actually gonna go and say, no, I have to go and kite back because I wanna be out of the range of the big nasty megalith, but the SACUs and Percivals are gonna go and make very good meat shields for it. As we can see, the Crabble is actually falling lower and lower, and 1k HP, and goodbye, there it goes, the crab bot is dead. Now let's see if the top team actually have anything to go and contest with what is happening in here. But it seems like it's because single Fatboy is not gonna be nearly enough, because the SACU is actually gonna keep on building T2 shield pitch. I mean shield generators, not shield pigeons, because pigeons are actually power generators, so what the hell are you telling, Endrani? But yeah, the SACUs are not gonna keep on producing the T2 shields to go and shield the Fat Boy from the incoming fire, and as such, the Fat Boy will be capable of exchanging fire and raining lots of shells to the enemy team. We can also see some fervors coming up from Mr. Motulai, dealing really big damage to this D3 Sams. D3 Sams dying with D1 units, nothing makes me more happy. Okay, let's go and look what is happening in the bases, because as we remember, there was a big show of going off between artilleries. There are two artists built by Mr. Ize, actually only one, the second one is not finished, and actually it doesn't seem like it will be finished anytime soon, and Mr. Laderocek have 3 artilleries firing away, trying to go and get rid of this base belonging to Mr. Zasput, but Mr. Zasput is actually doing a really good job and making sure that the shields are always online, and as such this Duke is still alive. And like I said, if you have SACUs covering the Fat Boy with T2 shields, there really ain't a way to go and chew through this all HP. And as such, the Fat Boy belonging to Mr. Luker is gonna have a free reign over shelling the base, the fire base belonging to Mr. Mochnatka here, which is actually full of kennels for whatever the reason. But I guess they're here to go and support the SACUs in building shields and other stuff. We can see 2 Monkey Lords coming in from Mr. One Punch Man. Are they gonna make a push or not? Because it would be really good to go and get rid of this Fat Boy in here on this east flank. And let's see how many FPS we have. 20 FPS in a game from 2007. God damn it. And it's not like my GPUs is really bad, it's an RX 480, but hey. I guess this game is just way too epic for my CPU and GPU to go and handle it, as we can see that Monkey are opening fire, but the SACUs just do not give shit. They're gonna come here and make sure that overcharges are gonna go and make short work of the Monkey Lord. The first one goes down, and the other one also goes kaboom in flames, as we can see it falling down on its 6 legs. Bye bye, sweetheart, have a good dream. Also, it seems like there is one more Fat Boy coming in here, and also a char from Luker. This is such a good game. There is something happening at all times. Shields actually going down here on the... Oh, no. Oh, whew. So close. If this was actually to explode, all of this would actually go up in flames, so... Lucky guy, Laderocek gets to keep his T3 artillery alive together with the shields and other stuff here. By a stroke of luck, I really do hope that he's gonna go and build a shield here and then repair the pigeons, because otherwise it's gonna be really nasty when they go up in flames. They're gonna go poof, and with them, there goes her base. It seems like the 2 Fat Boys are just gonna be way too much for the fire base belonging to Mochnatka to go and actually deal with it. We can see that he's actually forced to move back with his Fat Boy, as the Fat Boys belonging to Mr. Luker are just way too big of a force to reckon with. And here comes the bricks. Here comes the bricks, slowly waddling their way towards the enemy forces. Although they're actually under fire, because it seems like there are some No, actually no, it wasn't Revelers, it was just fire coming from the Cougars, trying to go and shoot down the T1 scouts flying over the battlefield, trying to go and gather some intel. But yes, this base is done for. It's only a matter of minutes before it goes up in flames. You can see the SACUs taking a lot of fires as the Fat Boys are lobbing more and more shells in their directions. A T3 pigeon is down, one ACU goes up in flames, another goes kaboom, and the third one says nope, I'm gonna fuck off from here. There are 2 Dukes up and running for Mr. Zasport, and let's see if the other one is actually still alive. Yes, it is still alive and still fighting away. So the artillery wars are still in progress. This base really took some hard beating, but it seems like it's still operating at half the power. Meanwhile, the left flank is doing just fine. There is no sign of any kind of shields falling down, as we can see one more Duke being put on by Mr. Laderocek. The SACUs belonging to Mochnatka just went up in flames as the fat boys just do not care. They keep on shooting the beautiful UEF technology. The land battleship, the experimental mobile factory, dealing out the pain. The top team have nothing to go and deal with it. Actually, if they still had a nuke launcher, this would be dead long ago, but I do not think that people keep on using nukes in this kind of manner. As we can see, the bricks that we talked about earlier are gonna go and go somewhere there and wait. There is a teleport on the One Punch Man ACU together with a laser. And wait. When was it done? When did they finish the SACU? Come on, I mean the TP. I just don't see anyone mentioning anything about that. Anyway, we will see if he's actually gonna go and do something useful with it or not. Actually, where is your ACU, mate? Where is your ACU? Okay, it is here and actually no... Never mind. It seems like I actually missed a telesnipe. Holy hell, Endrani, what the fuck are you doing? Just look at this ACU. 100k mass killed. And where are you going? Okay, you are tipping right now here, so let's see if you're actually gonna go and do something useful now or not. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem to be any kind of tele-defense in here. We can see the laser going off. There is a lot of T2 shields in here. But the laser does not care. It's gonna go and kill up the T3 Maxes. One down, second one down. The shields go up in flames. Third one down. The fourth one is also gonna go up in flames. As the ACU is racking up more and more mass killed. 156,000 mass killed. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Holy hell! This guy just made it out on 600 HP. Not to say, but I mean, he nearly died because he killed the T3 mass FAFs himself, so if he were to die there, it would be only on him. But we can see that more and more farboys are coming in from Mr. Luker. As the front base belonging to Mochnatka is basically no more, and the crab bot coming from One Punch Man is not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough, even more as there are this many shields, 3 fat boys, and also a bunch of T3 SACUs in here. So I'm sorry, but this is not gonna work out. This is actually such a grind of a game. As here comes the Char, or maybe should I say Tsar, as we call it in Polish and Russian, because it seems like this game is basically full of Ruskis, so let's call it Tsar. Megalith goes kaboom under the big laser, the beam of pain coming from the Tsar. Air experimental, which right now is gonna go for the T3 Dukes. As the laser goes here, the Dukes drops down to 1/3 HP, and there it goes up in flames. Kaboom, baby! Kaboom! A good choice to go and drop it here. And now it seems like Mochnatka is gonna go and peace out with Control K. He says, no, this is doomed. Time to go out. One Punch Man actually manages to go and snipe the ACU belonging to Mr. I mean, no, never mind. It was just... Wait, when did Clinch die? When did Clinch die? Because I'm quite sure there was only a single ACU going up here in flames, and it was basically Mr. One Punch Man dying here, but I have no clue what is just happening. There is a Strat Bomber trying to go and kill off the T3 SACU, the Rambo ones coming up from Mr. Motulai, but it's not gonna do much. There is also finally a Novax, and Zaspor is actually saying, no, I do not care, I'm out of this game. Oh no, what are you saying, Gortaur? This is not Gailcast, this is endraniicast. I'm not gonna upload this replay now, sorry, but no. It's a big no, this is not happening, I do not like it. I'm gonna spend the rest of my time looking at this little donut growing up in. And it's done. The donut is flying up high in the sky. But honestly, I really do not think there is much that the top team can do at this point. I mean, just look, 4 Fat Boys, Rambo SACUs, 2 Novaxes flying all over the sky. Okay, actually no, wait, the Novaxes belong to the top team. Fully based UEF commanders using the nasty Novax satellites. But yeah, the Rambo SACUs are just gonna be enough. The RAS preset ACUs belonging to LCR are not gonna be enough. As we can see that they're exploding one by one. Pigeons also exploding. And this is it. This is it. This is basically the GG. GG well played to both teams, because this was actually a spectacular game. Oh, my throat is actually really sore right now. I feel like an old man. Like, this replay made me really feel like an old man. But it seems like Mr. LSCR is still not gonna say no. He's gonna keep on fighting longer and longer, because true heroes never give up. Remember, kids, true heroes never give up. And as Rat Earl tends to say, winnable, it is still winnable. Believe in your grandpa. He have seen bigger upsets than this. I mean, these fat boys are just big old fat boys. Who cares if they're big? They're still fat, so fools would be afraid of them. And then, let's see, Mr. Gortaur finally had his ass washer up. And it seems like he's gonna go for the last air snipe. Because please, take me out from this game. I'm too old for this kind of long casts. I'm way too old. Russ, SACUs, dealing big damage to the T3 Nexus. Wait, what was that explosion? Oh, it seems like the SACUs belonging to LCR are dying to the T3 RT. A sight that you actually do not expect in this kind of a game. But hey, it's a clusterfuck of a game. We are at 57 minutes in game. And I really do feel old. The S-washer is actually eating up a lot of damage from the sun, as it seems like it will actually go up in flames as it falls down from the skies, and kaboom, there it goes. ASF, get up. Here is the other one. And there is also a lot of ambassadors being built, so come on guys, just finish it. Just find the last fucker, kill him, and strip him of his head. Okay, this is actually enough of this. This is actually quite retarded. So yes, pardon me for that. But well, there is just nothing more happening in here because the game is basically set in stone. Mr. LCR is no longer capable of doing anything about this game. He just have to go and stall for time. That is all that's left in his repertoire. As strat bombers are coming in here, dropping bombs, the shield's gonna go and take a few hits. But the bomb's gonna connect as the double shield from the LCR ACU is actually gonna go and drop down. Explosions all over the place. Here comes the ASF as the SCU goes up in flames. GG. Well played. Oh hell. That was a good replay, but... the GPU is dead. I repeat, the GPU is nearly dead. Anyway, see ya next time, guys.